it so dark? Oh, we're live. Yay, we're live. Hold on, guys, really quick. Really quick. All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to Vixen After Dark. Sorry about that. I missed you guys. I had to take a quick break. Did you guys feel the shift? There's some type of energy shift, honey. Oh my goodness. I feel like my body has been upgrading. It's crazy. Like my mind and soul, everything. I had to take, it's all about balance, right? So anyways, that's not what you're here for. I missed you guys so much. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped, and turned on. If you guys have not joined the fam, please make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button and click the bell right next to it. Dink! That way you guys are notified every time I go live. So what's up, guys? I had to freshen up and everything. I was out in the sun all day. It was so nice. I hope you guys are getting your sun. Okay, because anytime I'm out in the sun, honey, I am energized. All right. So I had to take a nice little fresh little shower. You know what I'm saying? I even washed the locks because I'm about to get retwisted. But anyways, guys, so today, thanks for tuning in. So what's happening today? I didn't even put a title. My bad. I just clicked go live. So what we're going to discuss today, I've been getting a lot of DMs about Saturn retrograding, so I feel like I should go in on that. That way I don't have to keep inboxing. So I didn't do a video on Saturn. I totally looked back and didn't I do Saturn? I'm like, no, I didn't. So we're going to talk about Saturn being retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And then also too, some people are also asking about what is a Saturn return as far as, excuse me, on other platforms. So we'll talk about that if you're going through your Saturn return, because your Saturn could be in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So, especially if you're ages, I think it's 28 to 30, you probably hit your first Saturn return. I already went through my first one. My next one's not until I'm I don't know, 50 something. But you guys can look at that at your natal chart if you know. So I'll talk about that, the energy as a collective. That way we can all know what that's crack-a-lack and what that's about, okay? And then I'll also, you know what? I'll probably go into how it's going to affect each house. Whatever house that's playing it for you as well. Because I feel like that's something that you really need to know personally for yourself. So make sure, you got to know your natal chart, y'all. That's why I encourage you guys to download it to master your own energy and figure out who you are, right? Most of you guys are pretty good about that. But if you're new here, welcome. You can get a free natal chart. You go to my website, vixenafterdark.com, and go grab that. Or just type in free natal chart or birth chart in Google. You know what I'm saying? You'll find a website. And you don't have to pay. It's free. Anyways, so I'll do that. But I'm mostly more excited about, I'm going to do a collective spread for everyone. Okay, we're gonna do a collective spread because we got the moon in Cancer, so a lot of emotional energy going on, very sensitive kind of a vibe here. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. Let's see here. I want to see so I think it's about to go, what's today? Yeah, the moon went into Cancer on Sunday. So today, tomorrow, and then it's going to go, we'll have Leo and Virgo. I feel like when the moon moves into Leo, we're going to all feel like all this yummy, because we have Venus and Mars in Leo. So I feel like we're all going to be acting on, it's going to be attention kind of vibe. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay. So yeah, if you guys are new here, I always do timestamps at the beginning. So if you want, you can rock with me while I'm live right now. Comment down below, lets me know that you're here with me. If not, you guys can always skip through the video. I'm gonna make it really quick, short and sweet as far as Saturn retrograde energy. You know, everyone thinks Saturn is so bad, so I kind of want to, like, we're gonna debunk all that, okay? I don't know why people think it's a bad thing, but you got to think Saturn energy, it only cares really about the physical aspects of things, you know what I'm saying? And when it's retrograding right now, it's kind of forcing us to go internal. So just think of it like that. It's been here in Pisces since after my birthday. I think like March 7th it went into Pisces, okay? And so it's going to be retrograding all the way from June 17th here until November 4th. But it's going to be in the sign of Pisces all the way up until 2026. So you may want to stay tuned in, time to turn on to this video. So just think of Saturn, it reps hard work, you know, discipline, having patience, being responsible for the things that we got going on in our lives right now at this time, and staying committed to those things, okay? How we bring on the stability within our lives. I'm pretty sure we're all kind of focusing on that right now, okay? So when you think of Pisces gang, it's a feminine energy, right? It's known as the fish, okay? So when you think Saturn, how do I explain this? The reason why people think it's so negative is because Saturn is of like the dark energy. Like I said, it's like, it's more of the results of the things that we put into our mind and the programs that that we programmed ourselves with, right? Or the ones that we're unprogramming and reprogramming. The results of the energy work that we put out, that we put forth. It's kind of like, okay, so what you got going on? Think of Saturn like that, you know? Because it's like, it's what's behind the light. So what did you do behind the scenes, you know, as far as mind, body, and soul? Think of Saturn like that. See, I really, let me try and make it like PG as far as, because there's certain content that certain things I gotta be careful with my words here on YouTube. How do I say this? So people think that Saturn is associated with like demonic or negative energies, okay? That can, and this can be traced way back into, you know, like cultural and historical factors that you guys can definitely look up on your own time. I encourage you to do your own research, of course. But some, how do I say it? Some esoteric or occult traditions have associated Saturn with themes of darkness, okay? Karma, you know, even the devil. Which can contribute to the perception that Saturn is demonic. So let's just kind of get that all the way out the way. You know, it's pretty much how we place and receive boundaries, okay? So just think of it as like Saturn always brings lots of structure in our lives, you know, and discipline to how we obtain or attain our goals. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it just really encourages us to really understand what is our full power, what's our full potential. Like, do you want it bad enough, whatever it is that you're going towards in life, whatever success looks like to you. It's like, who do you want to become? What do you want to be known for? And are you putting in the effort and the work and the action to do so? Are you staying disciplined and diligent and things of that nature? Okay. So, you know, it's kind of like, it's encouraging us to really understand our full power. And if we can go, you know, the extra mile, it kind of gives us that tenacity in a sense to really reach success. We're all kind of looking at that right now, especially when we had, you know, all these planets going into Taurus at one point. I know the whole world was feeling it. Like, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get this back? Okay, so for the most part, I feel like here, with Saturn energy, think of it like, it's like when you push yourself to your limits, what are you working towards every day? Like, are you like, do you really want it as bad as you say you do. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if you learn things and you're soaking up information like a sponge. There's all this information out there. There's all these things that we want to do and create and be. So are you doing it though? So that's Saturn. Like, are you really taking the action? Are you really doing that? Are you really pushing your limits and your boundaries? Because once you kind of do that, you can start to see all these opportunities, all these doors, all these windows kind of open up for you when you're going hard for yourself and receiving the prosperity that you want to receive on a grand scale. Okay. Now let's kind of separate that. Since it's going into the sign of Pisces, this is where I always say that a lot of people can sell a lot of pipe dreams, you know what I'm saying? Especially with Neptune being in Pisces right now. Let me see where it's at. Hold on. So Saturn is at 7 degrees in Pisces, so it's still early degree. Neptune is all the way up in 27 degrees. We'll talk about that. That's a whole nother video. But so you got to think, Pisces is water energy. It rules the 12th house. Its primary ruler is actually Jupiter, co-ruler Neptune. So Saturn being here, we'll break it down. So Pisces is immutable energy. And like I said, the 12th house is all about our subconscious mind. Okay. It's all about spirituality in a sense. Okay. So I always say, if you don't take anything else from this video, it's kind of like stay low key until you find a come up. Stay low key until you come back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the name of the game here when Saturn is in Pisces. You know, because think of 12th house, right? 12th house is all about limitations. It's all about, you know, we could have spiritual awakenings. It can correspond to lots of challenges that we have in our life, right? When you add Pisces in there, our private thoughts, things that we don't even tell anybody, you know, that you've probably locked away or swept under a rug, things that you don't really tell anybody, okay? So it's like the various cycles of our life, and that's why this Saturn transit is going to be here for some years, so you may want to pay attention. 12th house is all about too, like, secrets, you know, endings. It could be like hidden truths in this house, or your hidden enemies in a sense. That's what they say. So with Saturn in Pisces retrograding, like I said, it's forcing us to go internal, and Saturn likes to be external because it's all about what would you do? What work did you put in? You know what I'm saying? So going internal, it can be a little bit of a struggle. Of course, I'm going to tell you the negative and the positive of that. So think of it low-key as, you know, if you're going through something rough, like a rough patch in your life or some type of challenge, something that's really hard or challenging to you right now at this time, in retrograde, it's kind of giving you a chance to look back at it again. It's like giving something a second chance, whether it's a person, place, or a thing, okay? So it's really encouraging us to, it's like reflecting on a collective level. Like, we're all going to be reflecting on certain things, like, is this good for me? Should I be tapping into this? Should I be doing that? Just to put it in layman terms a little bit, okay? So we're all going inward to really review those things, okay? We have a lot of also aspects that are playing out for that, especially when we had all this air energy going on, Sun's in Gemini, Mercury's in Gemini. So as far as our thoughts, our thinking, things of that nature, it should be very clear and evident. Okay, this person is like this to me. Am I gonna mess with them or not? You know, it's pretty much like that. This job or this opportunity, should I be doing this right now? Is this something that, you know, is it helping me in any level? You know, in all forms and fashions, we're looking at everything kind of like that. So it's forcing you to go inward as far as, think of the Saturn energy. What structures do you put up for yourself? The beliefs, the things that you've been feeding your mind. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge that you receive. You can be going back as far as, like, you know, when we were in school, what they taught us. You know, we're so indoctrinated with all these types of information, and then here we go, age of Aquarius. We had all these things being revealed to us through social media, right? From the celebrities to the economics, all the systems and things of that nature. Like, everything's kind of like, you can see it all crumbling. Like, wait, hold on, they said this, but then it's this. So I'm not gonna say too much. You should already know what that means. So, you know, like, are you getting it together as far as your priorities, your responsibilities, and things of that nature? So it's really forcing us to really check these things out and see what needs to be reassessed at this time. So we really have to pay attention and reevaluate. Are we really building a solid foundation for ourselves right now at this time? Okay. because I feel like you can go both ways with this. Some people are going towards the societal norms and some people are not right now at this time, based off of the information that's been provided, based off the truth that's being revealed, right? So society has built this certain way of living and doing things, and now that we have Uranus and Taurus, it's kind of like everybody's going outside of the box, you know what I'm saying? And you got to think the Taurian energy is all about, you know, bringing home the bacon, the material possessions and things of that nature, right? So we're all thinking of that. It's really inviting all of us to go a little bit deeper, okay? When Saturn's going retrograde, just go more deep, like go within, go beyond the surface, and really explore, with that Pisces energy, explore yourself in a way that you never have before, as far as your inner world. So what does this look like? Shadow work, looking at why people trigger you, why you looking mad, sad and upset, you know, why are you frustrated and all the things. You might want to go dive a little bit deeper and see maybe you're triggered probably because of something that happened in a past connection that you had with someone, or maybe something happened to you when you were a kid and you're bringing it into your adult life right now. You know, so it's kind of forcing us with that Pisces energy to really put in the work, okay? Because when you put in the work in yourself, not only do you feel better, you feel lighter, and you feel like, you know what? Oh, dang, this is what this was this whole time. That's what I was always walking around mad, angry, and upset because of that. Oh, damn, once you solve that, you're not projecting anymore. You know, now you can put that energy towards something creative, something that's going to help you build your foundation, and then you're going to be working towards, you know, bringing, being stable in your life, you know what I'm saying, and being happy, you know what I mean, like putting your energy towards something that matters now, and not just walking around looking at everybody being jealous or envious or wondering what's on their plate and things of that nature. You see how that works? So, and you got to think, since Pisces rules the 12th house, some of us may be going through some karmic lessons or some karmic situations, you know what I'm saying? Some fated situations as well. You can be looking at your old patterns and beliefs and habits and things of that nature and try to see where you're at now. Is this something that I should still be participating in? Should I still be doing this? Is this for my betterment or not? Whether you're dealing with a person, place, or a thing. So we're kind of really confronted to look at all of these unresolved issues that we have within ourselves. I know you probably heard the words mirror work, shadow work, looking at the man in the mirror, looking at yourself, checking yourself. You know what I mean? Like all the things of self, going within, because it's really, really, really important. If you don't love yourself, how can you even love somebody else? And how can somebody love you more than you love you? And you know, we got to make it make sense, pretty much for the most part. So we got to really resolve the issues that are within us, clear those karmic debts that need to be addressed, pretty much for the most part. So some people don't like to do that. What do they do instead with the Pisces energy? So, you know, you can look towards vices. You can do things to kind of cover up, not really go within. Oh, I'm fine, I'm good, I don't need no help, I'm straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. And so what does that look like? They escape. They're like the con artists, the escape artists, the master manipulators, the people that just want to be in their own bubble, in their shell, especially because we have, God, moon in Cancer right now. Sheesh. I'll talk about that in a second. But this can really lead to a period of karmic reckoning. It's an opportunity for us to really collectively grow and heal. Just look at it as that. Like literally grow and heal. Because if I talk to you, and you know, people, I meet people all the time. It's like I haven't seen them in 10 years or 5 years, 2 years, whatever, and they're still doing the same thing, and then they expect me to be the same way. I'm pretty sure you peeped that too, and it's like, dang, this person hasn't even changed. Like they're still the same, and they expect me to be the same. Like, nah, this version of me is different. Like I didn't stop doing X, Y, and Z. I don't do that no more. Or be, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure we're all facing it, but this is what it's called, so that you know. This is like just a little piece of it, you know, as far as the astrology goes, okay? So like I said, people can look towards vices because they don't want to work on themselves when Saturn is going retrograde right now. So this can really amplify that kind of an energy. If you're a person or you see somebody, you know, it's just like, oh man, it's like you roll your eyes or you be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to them. I don't even want to deal with it. Because you can see what they're going through. You can see people that are just emotionally unavailable. They're just so distraught. It's like negative Nancy every single day. They always have issues. They always have problems. They're just so depressed or suppressed. And they just ignore their feelings. They ignore everything. So they're unbalanced with their divine feminine, divine masculine energies. And we all have that within us, whether you're a man or female. So we have to really put in the conscious effort to really face the battles that we've been fighting, okay? And work towards a resolution. We have to be more solution-based during this time, okay? If everyone could just kind of work on themselves, man, we can really build a community. We can really come together and use our brains towards things that actually matter. You see how this plays? You see how this works out? So just take this time as an opportunity to transform yourself from starting within. And then, you know, they always say, oh, you look like you're glowing, or you've been looking real good these days. Well, and you know that you've been putting in the work. You just have this natural glow about you. You know what I'm saying? Or you took a while to remove energies from your life, or you were on a celibacy journey, or you know what I mean? Or you stopped drinking, smoking, whatever it is for you because you wanted to work on yourself. That's this right here. You want to confront all your goddamn fears, and you know, most of the time you really find out that we are our worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? We are limiting our own goddamn selves for the most part. That's all it is. You know, so now it's like, okay, we got to take accountability and we got to take responsible action, Saturn energy, and grow so that we can evolve and change. Okay, it's really, really, really important. So if you have your Saturn return going on right now, like I said, if you're born, I think in the 80s, I don't know, I think it's like between the ages of like, you can look it up, but you should know if you're going through your Saturn return. I want to say it gotta hit like 28 to 30, like, or something like that. It just depends on the year that you're born. So what you could possibly be going through is you could be going through a major spiritual awakening because you got to add in the Pisces energy. Okay, this can really have you going through spiritual awakenings right now. You may undergo like how do I say it? Pisces can really bring you to the spiritual world. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like your beliefs, your practices, let's say for example, you grew up in a household where everybody was Catholic, or you know, I have a lot of friends that trying to convert me to be Muslim, and whatever it is for you. And then all of a sudden, as you grow older as an adult, you start to unlearn and relearn. You start to hear things on social media. So then you start morphing your values, beliefs, your morals, values, and beliefs after the information that's presented to you, or whatever you tap into, you know what I'm saying? So as you get older during this age, you may shift that. You used to be a person that's probably going to church every Sunday with your Bible, with your family, and then now you know the true meaning behind something. You're like, wait a minute, I don't want to be in that religion. Yeah, I'm going to go over here. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that looks like for you. So it's like you're finding your spiritual path or your purpose, and you could have lots of emotional healing. That's another aspect of Pisces, right? You can really go through some deep healing, some deep rooted healing. Like you can probably find out about, you know, if you had some tragic things that's happened to you, you can dive deep about those, and you probably uncovered some answers. Let's say you went through a barbecue this weekend with family or whatever, Father's Day, right? And you heard grandma or auntie or uncle talking about something that happened to you back in the day, and now you're like, oh, that's why? Dang! Like, you can really uncover some stuff, which can allow you to kind of heal, because now you have answers or you have clarity. So now you're faced to kind of confront, well, dang, that's why I was like that this whole time? Okay, cool. Now that I know that, okay, now I'm going to move left, you know, and release the badge that I've been wearing. Release that I'm this victim of whatever happened to me, you know what I'm saying? And move forward, onward, and upward. so that you can like just not feel bad about whatever it is that you got going on. Accept, you know, those experiences. They made you who you are today. You're still here, you're still standing, and we can, you know, move further. Okay, it's kind of like healing those wounds that you've had, you know what I mean? Or let's say, for example, you used to say that, you know, every time your birthday came around, you had depression, you know? It's like removing those emotional patterns, you know what I'm saying? Like not labeling yourself as anything and figuring out why you were always like that. And then you're like, oh, okay, here's the conclusion, here's why. Now I made sense of it, now I can move further. So that's pretty much what it is. But also too, you got to think Pisces energy. If you guys are going through your Saturn return, you could, you know, be very creative. Pisces loves to create, so trust me on Pisces. So this time can really like inspire you. Since you got to go within, you might tap into some creative endeavors, some projects. You might explore and express yourself in a new way. You might change the way, you know. Now you're like, okay, I'm not going to be a Mormon anymore. My parents taught me how to do that. Now I'm going to dress and do whatever I want to do and go where I want to go. You see what I'm saying? Like you can really revamp yourself, okay? You know, Pisces is also very intuitive. Your intuition might be just heightened during this time, and you're able to like problem solve and things of that nature, and express yourself in a whole new way. Also too, during this time, you got to think sometimes Pisces, we kind of blur our boundaries. So during your Saturn return, you may likely face certain lessons around that. I know I did a long time ago, so that's why I'm telling you this. And now you can actually put in some healthy boundaries for yourself. Okay, once you learn something, when you know better, you do better. Okay, so it's all about kind of like doing a self-sacrifice in a sense, finding a balance between your own needs and the needs of other people that are around, okay? Because you don't want to put yourself down or feel bad about whatever it is that you went through, or you know what I'm saying? Like it made you who you are today. Now it's just like knowing that and then surrendering and moving forward in life, which is really important. When you know about it, you surrender to finding out the information and accepting it. Then you can release it. Let it go. Okay? So your Saturn return might teach you, you know, valuable lessons when you surrender to the divine and really trust that, you know, and kind of go with the flow of life in a sense. Okay? So this can be, what does this look like? Letting go of like outdated belief systems, like I said earlier, you know, that no longer serve you, that aren't for your highest good. Like I said, I know I was raised Catholic, and then as I was growing older, I used to walk around with the Bible, and then I was like, nope, not Catholic. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm going to be Buddhist. I just tried everything. I'm like, I don't feel, this is like, I was debunking everything, was like contradicting, like I was so deep, y'all. I went through it, okay? So you may be going through that, okay? Figuring out who you are, okay? Going inside, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So you can also be at a time like, you know, wanting to serve other people as well during this time. That's what Pisces like to do. It's like being of service in a sense because they feel like they have a stronger calling. So you may be in this mode of probably figuring out, you know what, there's something deeper to life. I got a mission. There's something I'm supposed to be doing. You may not know yet, but this is why you're watching my channel, to maybe discover that and seeing where you can stay tuned and tapped and turn on, okay? So you may explore different avenues as far as being a little bit more compassionate about yourself or to others that kind of align with, you know, your creative flow or your career path, something meaningful to you that benefits you in some sense. So let's kind of move on. Let's say, for example, let's see. So we all, since Saturn is retrograding in the sign of Pisces, it's going to hit everybody's houses differently. So I'll just talk about the houses and how you can kind of utilize the energy. So let's talk about house one. We all know house one is all about self. So during this period of time, if Saturn is going to be here until 2026, this is important to know. You might go through a self-discovery, self-reflection, things of that nature, okay? You might inspire yourself to really reassess your identity, who you are, your goals, you know, any duties, responsibilities, and obligations that you have, Saturn energy. You know, that way you can become more aware of yourself and grow during this time, okay? Now, if it's in your first house, you have to remember you can have a tendency during this time to be too hard on yourself, or your insecurities may be brought up. So you have to really take it easy when it's in your first house, because you can really get caught up. You can doubt yourself, and you can feel like, oh, okay, I gotta do this, and I gotta do that. It's like trying to meet the expectations of other people, and then you get burdened by all these responsibilities that you can't even fulfill. So you gotta take it easy. Don't put too much on yourself. So utilize this energy while it's retrograding right now, to self-reflect. Set realistic goals for yourself, not for somebody else and what they want you to do. For you. Do it for you, and take responsibility for your own growth and your own actions, and your own well-being. Really just focus on building your self-confidence and really establishing good healthy boundaries. If it's in your second house, okay, if Saturn is transiting in your second house during this, while it's in Pisces, so we all know second house deals with, let's just put it like this. You gotta think Saturn and Pisces. So this has to deal with your finances. Let's keep it a whole buck. This is a Taurus house. So you have to probably reevaluate where you're spending your money. What are you spending your money on? Where is it going? Are you spending money on things that actually, you know, that you can see? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's doing something for you. You have to learn how to manage your money when it's in your second house, okay? Because what maybe like what you used to value, maybe you're a person that used to like Gucci and Louis and all that stuff, but now you're like, I'd rather put it towards like a garden, or I don't know, let me invest in crypto or invest in stocks, or, you know, let me build something for myself. You know what I'm saying? You might be reassessing like real tough, okay? Your priorities might have changed, and you're trying to think of how you can bring in the long-term stability for yourself, okay? So now the negative side to that, you could have lots of challenges, of course, with your money, overspending, or, you know, putting all your eggs in one basket on an opportunity when you didn't do your research. You got to kind of really be careful with that. You know, you may be focused on like having lots of material possessions. I always say less is more. So some may feel like kind of restricted when it's in the second house, when it has to deal with their financial forecast, just FYI. So while Saturn is here in your second house, you can use this energy to what? Create a budget, you know? Maybe if you only know you're going to get paid every 2 weeks, set aside some petty cash. You know what I'm saying? Write a list of all your bills and the amounts, how you can break those down, how you can save money. You know, if you do want to invest in things, maybe throw like $50 here or $10 there instead of doing like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like that way you can still go towards your goals, but maybe in smaller increments or something like that. I don't know. So just focus on establishing like a solid foundation for you and do what works for you, and go towards building a plan as far as your long-term financial security, okay? Because you don't, when Saturn is in your second house, just make sure your money, honey, is not looking funny, okay? Let's say Saturn is in your third house until 2026. Third house is all about communication, right? We know that off top. So you may need to reevaluate how are you presenting yourself as far as, you know, your speaking or your communication skills, things that nature. Like you might be working on trying to convey messages to people. You just might be a different way of thinking. You just might change, you know, what are you putting your time and energy as far as, because, you know, when you're communicating or you're conversing with other people, it's 9 times out of 10 dealing with your third house. It's for the most part dealing with other people. You know what I'm saying? or you're getting inspired by somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? So find ways to really deepen your communication skills during this time when it's in the house of 3. Like maybe deepening your connections as far as, you know, what you're saying to certain people and what you're not going to say anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like who you going to tell your business to and who you not. You know what I mean? Like it can kind of really show you. But also too, the way that you're talking. Like for me, for example, like I'm working on trying not to cuss so much. Even though like that's just how I grew up. It's so hard, but I really want to try. You know what I mean? I really want to try. So that's something that I'm working on. So like I say, when you're conversing with other people, you can learn how to set clear boundaries. Okay, like I said, no, like treat people like file folders. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is an acquaintance. Okay, this could be a business partner. Okay, this is a person I can't tell my business to, like personal business. Okay, this could be look like, you know, a low-key long-term friend, best friend energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you just kind of file people accordingly as far as your relationships. This could be siblings. This could be even your damn community, your neighbors, and things of that nature. We're dealing with third house energy. But on the flip side to that, you have to recognize you can be kind of overcritical too, as far as the way that you're speaking to other people. I swear I see everything in the sky. Or the way you talk to yourself. You got to be mindful of the thoughts that you're saying to yourself. Do not. You can be so negative in your own mind and nobody knows about it. And you know, whatever you think about the most, and if you believe that, those are the results that's going to come forward, and you don't want that for yourself, right? So don't be critical of yourself when it's in your 3rd house, okay? Just focus on making sure, like, you know, check on your people, you know, have healthy communication. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to receive back, be that. Set boundaries, okay? Be very respectful. 4th house, if Saturn is going through your 4th house, the thing I can say about 4th house, so this is about family and home. It's a Cancer house, so it's a lot of water energy here. So you can really, if it's going in your 4th house, I feel like you're gonna be reevaluating a lot and doing a lot of self-reflecting. Like you're really gonna be looking at yourself, especially when it comes to if you have, like, you know, kids, if you have a lover, or you're married, or, you know, if you live with your siblings or your family members, things of that nature. You don't have to live with them, but just as far as your emotional stance, like your emotional foundation on things, okay? This will inspire you. Use that Saturn energy to gain a little bit more structure. So what does this look like? Make sure you take out the trash, check on your garden, you know, the house is clean, you know what I mean? It's doing things like that, like make sure home and family is on the up and up, okay? But also going within, you know what I'm saying, and having your own alone time, self-care routines, things of that nature, and make sure you're good too. You don't, because the negative side to this is you can have challenges where you're putting everybody in front of you and putting yourself to the side, and you don't want to do that, okay? Especially when it's dealing with family members, if, you know, you don't live alone. But also too, lots of things can happen within home and family and things of that nature within your 4th house. So don't become rigid, or, you know, because you can become very emotionally distant if it's in your 4th house, because it's Saturn energy and it's retrograding. So what I would do, you know, make sure that you have your own space. You know, like you have your own little private sector going, or you let people know, like set a boundary, be like, hey, during this time, this is my alone time, I don't want to be bothered. Or, you know, be a little bit more nurturing to the energies that are, you know, that are around you, okay? Especially when it comes to your home environment, because you want it to feel like sanctuary. You don't want it to feel like anything other than that. So set healthy emotional boundaries, because it's 4th house, you know, it's Cancer energy. So make sure you're building a solid foundation where your emotional well-being is being taken care of. Okay, that definitely matters, because if you ain't right on the inside, then you're gonna project on everybody else, right? And everybody's gonna feel the wrath of you, and that's not gonna be good. So 5th house. So 5th house, for the most part, this is like, you know, your creative house here. So this is good since Pisces energy. Pisces loves to create. Oh my God, we love making things. Okay, so you can really express yourself in a new way. Okay, you might even tap into something like something that used to be a hobby. Now you're tapping into it now and maybe turn into a business. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Painting, art, draw, something liberal. You know what I mean? That makes you feel free. And you can get more discipline on that. And once you know maybe something to hit, like it was a hobby, you were painting and you started hanging up paintings in your wall, and every time you have friends over there looking at you like, you paint? You did that? Like, you're like, yeah. It's like nothing to you. And they're like, wait, you should start an Etsy shop or something like that. Seller, you should have a garage sale and sell your paintings. And you're like, you know what? I just might think about that. So here you go, creating schedules, getting more disciplined, structured. You set time on the weekends to do your artistic endeavors and your pursuits and things of that nature. And certain hobbies can turn into monetizing. Now you got a little business going. You know what I mean? The fifth house is also romantic connections too, like your romantic relationships and things of that nature as well. So that can change. But on the flip side to that, if it's in your fifth house, you know, Pisces energy, you can be like very critical. Like, well, it's not perfect. Well, I'm not done with it yet. And then you creating all this stuff and you don't do nothing about it. It's never on the walls. You're not uploading it. You're not selling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just kind of like be so critical of that. So, you know, be careful, okay? And also too, try not to be too calculated in your moves as far as when you're dealing with like your romantic relationships, okay? Just be aware of that. Find balance. Sixth house. So sixth house. We all know sixth house is related to like work, health, you know, all the boring stuff. But Saturn likes to kind of low-key be here in a sense. So you'll probably be a person that now all of a sudden you turn to OCD. Now you make sure after dinner the dishes are done. You know, you can become very responsible if you use this energy correctly. You can really improve that sector of your life. Maybe you didn't used to do your laundry, you just let it sit on the floor, and then after you did it, maybe you did it, but you never folded it. So now you probably could become a little bit more disciplined in your life, and maybe this can actually create some healthy routines. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes 21 days to gain a habit and 21 days to lose one. You know what I'm saying? So you could really set yourself up real nice. Okay, repetition is the mother of skill. You know, even the way you eat, you might change your eating habits during the next couple of years because it's going to be here all the way till 2026. So you might change your diet. You never know. Watch, I bet you'll have this Saturn in the sixth house. You might actually worry about what you're eating. Instead of eating for 3 people and eating trash and garbage and Doritos and soda, you might go towards like vegetarian, you know, eating smoothies and alkaline water and, you know, ginger shots. Like you might really just turn a whole, you know what I'm saying? You might turn a whole leaf when Saturn's here in your sixth house. So I hope you take that energy and really use it to your advantage, especially if you're a person that has health issues already, or if you know your family members do in the way that they cook or the way that you grew up and now it passed on to you how you cook, like grandma or auntie or whatever, you know, with all the salt and all the sugar. Like maybe you might cut that out, you know what I'm saying? So that you can actually live the life you know, like, because we all want to create and do certain things and be somebody, right? So but you got to be healthy in order to see things carry out, right? And have the energy to do so. So yeah, don't avoid your self-care routines. Don't do it because you might be a little bit too rigid with that. What's up, kids? Thanks for tuning in. Just in time, so I'm almost done. I'm gonna do the collective spread. What are we at? Sixth house? Yeah. So make sure you maintain your health for real, because even though, like, let's say for example, let's say you have like Saturn here, and then maybe you got like, especially if you have like Mars or something like that in the sixth house, man, you might be prone to like having certain accidents happen. So I just kind of would be careful, okay? Some things are fated and some aren't, just FYI. Seventh house. So if it's transiting here, you know, seventh house is all about our relationship. So you may definitely reevaluate your relationships right now. You might be going inward thinking, dang, is this person really there for me? Do they actually care about me? Like, do they even wonder about me? Did they even notice that I got my hair done and my eyebrows done? Like, they don't even, like, you know, you could be looking at your relationships like, damn, do I really want to be in this connection right now? You can have a whole spiritual awakening, and then you can realize the person that you've been with does not match. You guys are not on the same frequency whatsoever. You want to be here, you know, and they want to be here. They want to play video games, sit on the couch when they get off work, and you want to go be an entrepreneur and go travel the world and learn some new information. Two totally different people. Y'all might end up being roommates. You know, Saturn's in your 7th house right now. So you got to play it real smooth and really reevaluate the connections that you have right now when it's in your house of 7, okay? And also to go within to see, what are you bringing to the table? How are you presenting yourself to the connections that are in your life right now at this time, okay? You know, that way you can make sure, are you setting healthy boundaries? Are you letting people know what's up? Or are you being a people pleaser? Are you saying, yes, 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 you can have this, you can do that, okay, whatever, yeah, that's fine, whatever. You know, how are you acting in your connections right now? You got to be responsible for the role that you're playing in your relationships too. So you got to check yourself, okay, and make sure, what is the energy that you're giving out. I always ask, you know, especially like if I'm in a relationship, I haven't been in one in a long time, but you know, when you're in a relationship, people are always changing and growing, right? We're supposed to be doing that. And so kind of when you're in a relationship with somebody, you kind of lose yourself in a sense, okay? You get so connected with someone, some people kind of lose themselves, like they even lose their life, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you are checking in with your friends, doing things separately with your girlfriends or guy friends, or you're taking those trips or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a separate life outside of your relationship, like healthy. Make sure it's healthy though, and it's not toxic. So, that way you can, you know, commit, you know, long term with whoever it is that you're with, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that you guys still have the same interests, you know, checking in with one another, do like a no phone zone dinners, and making sure you guys are being attentive to each other's needs, you know what I'm saying? And checking in, like, because you guys change every so often. It's like, you know, the interests might change, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of good to check in to make sure y'all ain't wasting each other's time, you know what I'm saying? Or are you guys on the same type of time? I think that would be a grand conversation to have. Like, always tap in with your partner, especially if you guys are in relationships and if you're dating, because there could be some challenges or delays, or, you know, people have a tendency to ghost, you know, but I say that's kind of unhealthy. Like, hold people accountable, let them know what's up. Sometimes a conversation can be life-changing, okay? Just by saying what is on your mind, you know what I'm saying? What's missing, or what can we do that's better, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta, because some people may feel restricted. Like, if you feel like you can't be yourself and do whatever with your partner, oh, you ain't with the right one. Yeah, like, you gotta go. No. It should be like the icing on the cake, you know what I'm saying? When people come together. Y'all should be like helping each other, build each other up, not break each other down, you know what I'm saying? So if it's in the house of 7 when Saturn's here, somebody might be a little bit controlling. So use this energy, if it's in the 7th house, to really reassess your connections right now, okay? It could be any ship that you're sailing, by the way. Business partnership, love relationship, friendships, whatever, you know what I'm saying? This could even be your best friend. Sometimes, you know, you gotta check your best friend. Is your best friend into the things that you into, or they just want to gossip all the time and they ain't got nothing going on in their life? You might gotta drop them off at the elevator, I'm sorry, because you want to go elevate. You want to do other things. You want to get out of the hood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want to be somebody. You want to go travel and do trips and go to different countries and build businesses, and they don't want to do any of that. They could be holding you back. So you may have to check that out when it's in that house, okay? So focus on developing healthy, balanced relationships. 8th house. So 8th house is about shared resources and intimate connection. So if Saturn's here, oh, you really can transform here. But it's also deep. This can bring up, it's a Scorpio house. So it's like, it can bring up deep fears too. So whatever emotional patterns or fears, false evidence appearing real, you gotta take responsibility, honey, okay? Especially, because 8th house can be like, it can deal with money low-key too, like as far as like inheritances and like assets, debts, things of that nature. So just make sure that you kind of get things in order in the house of 8, especially when it comes to your intimate relationships, because you know there could be challenges related to probably being obsessive or controlling, or you know, think of all the flip things of Scorpio energy. The emotional connection probably could be missing some form or fashion. It could be like, I'm making all this money and you ain't helping me. Like, you know what I mean? And then you don't want to be intimate with them no more. It doesn't have to mean that. Like, intimate doesn't have to mean sex is what I should say. So use this energy to really analyze yourself, of course, always checking with self, and address any unresolved emotional issues you have, or you can kind of find out why you have fear. Why are you scared to do the things that you want to do? What's in the house number 8? So focus on transforming yourself and being responsible for how you're tapping in with your connections, and don't forget to manage your resources too. 9th house. So this is a spirit. This is like higher education, higher learning, right? This is a Sag house. So I think this could be good if you use it right, because you can really reevaluate the information that you're feeding yourself as far as like social media, the books you're reading, things that you're learning, and also the programs that you were already indoctrinated with from school to your parents, grandparents, whatever. And then here we are now, you know what I'm saying? So it's you could be tapping into new beliefs, values, morals, all the things, education wise, okay, especially. But 9th house is also travel. Dang, I want to tell that guy he has something hanging from his car. His window's closed. It can also be travel. So you may travel internally, okay, as far as your chakras, like as far as you might have been vibing low in your root chakra. Now you're like, okay, I'm here with it now. I see through the veil. I see between the lines. I really know what's up now. I know what's going on. You can be tuned in, tapped in, turned on when it's in the house of 9, okay? But, you know, the negative side to that is don't restrict yourself either, because you may have learned so much to the point where you may start to try and teach people that this is the only way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And like, you may not be open to other perspectives. So you might have like you can become very limited in that sense. So you got to be aware of that, okay? And really avoid having like this pessimistic way of looking at life. You know, like for example, someone will be like, well, I'm Christian, da 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 da, and then the other person's all like, I'm atheist. You know what I mean? Y'all can have a whole argument about it and go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, it's just like someone believes their religion is better than the other or whatever. So you got to be careful with that. So use this energy, do more of the exploring, like explore different belief systems and see what works for you. Like I said, I think I've tried like Catholic, Christian, I tried all of it, like just to see where I was at, Buddhism, all the things, right? When in my younger years, and figured out that's not where I want to be. So use this energy to really engage in new spiritual practices and things of that nature. Like you might travel to different countries and learn a few things, you know what I'm saying? That might help you naturally to change your mind and grow and expand your horizon in that sense. If it's Saturn's in your 10th house. Now, we all know Saturn rules the sign Capricorn, which rules the 10th house. So this is a good place for it to be. So for example, you want to make sure in the 10th house, and we all know 10th house is all about your career, responsibility, and ambitious energy, right? So this may really inspire you to really check on your long-term goals for yourself. Take responsibility for your own personal development, what you got going on. Like I said, Saturn likes to know, like, did you take action? Like, what were the results of that? You know, what were the results of all the knowledge that you retained? Did you put it into wisdom and make something out of it? Or did you just like absorb all this energy and do nothing with it? You know, so really this can be, you know, you can really develop yourself, especially like if you did retain a lot of knowledge, you gain some skill sets, and then here you go. Now you have your own business, you know what I'm saying? You can really, you know, it's all about public image too. So you can really build a solid reputation for yourself. It's in the house number of 10. You can really use this energy to build the bricks, honey, okay? especially because we have all this Taurian energy playing out too, especially with Jupiter in Taurus right now. Uranus is in Taurus, okay? And we have that Pluto energy going, Pluto going in and out of Capricorn and Aquarius for 20 years. So don't forget, you can have challenges. Like, let's say, for example, you did want to start a business. Okay, maybe you weren't successful with that, and then you start something else, and then you do something else. So it can be like an up and down as far as that goes. Your career matters. You can have a job and lose a job. You know, you can be at the job and be like, I don't want to have a boss. I want to be a boss. And you can turn into try and be an entrepreneur and get your LLC and all the things, right? So some people may feel low-key restricted when it's in the house number 10 as far as the professional responsibilities goes. So you want to use this energy to really think of, what do you see yourself doing and it doesn't feel like a job? So what are your career goals? Do you want to be like, what do you want to do? For the most part, do you have a plan though? You know what I'm saying? Go big, go hard. You know what I'm saying? You may need a team to really build out some goals for yourself, okay? Just focus on what you want to do. I feel like focus on building a solid foundation so that you can have the long-term success. What if you're a person right now, you want to work on something right now to where you just want to, maybe one day you're using social media now, but you might want to be off grid years to come. You want to buy land. You want to have your own community, your own family, babies. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your own garden. You want to, whatever it is for you. And that way you won't have to be on social media anymore. So coming up with those long-term goals would be key if Saturn's in your 10th house, okay? 11th house. So this is an Aquarian house, and Saturn also rules Aquarius too, is the primary ruler, I would say. So this can be good because since we have Sun in Gemini, Mercury Gemini right now too, use this energy to really reevaluate the people that you're talking to. Okay, the people that you're hanging out with, because it's all about social groups, friendships, things of that nature, but also your wishes and your dreams and all that stuff. So you might really be inspired to reassess, like I said, your friendships. Okay, your best friend might not be your best friend anymore because you guys are going on two different paths, or maybe even your lover. You know, you guys might have changed. They want to do this and you want to do that, so it's kind of off. So it's just kind of like y'all end up going broke instead of coming together building something. So you got to kind of maybe look at that, and also to who you're socializing with. Maybe you used to go to the club with Tom, Dick, and Harry every Friday and drink a beer and get wasted until 2 or 3 in the morning, but maybe your priorities have changed, and so now it's like, now you got to go find a new social group that is more like-minded like you, that's going on the path that you're going on now. Okay, so you can feel, you might have a period, because I've gone through that before, where you isolate yourself because you're like, dang, now it's like, I can't hang out with them anymore. So then you may feel alone. You may isolate yourself to build yourself. But like I said, you know, sometimes with this Saturn energy, you gotta fall back until you can come up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't be overcritical though, and try not to. Make sure you're getting out there and having experiences. That's what this Jupiter energy is all about, to have new experiences. We need to be operating in our North Node too. It's all in Taurus right now, guys. So gain new experiences. So still get outside. You just might have to maybe frequent different areas. If you don't want to hang out at the bar anymore, well, don't go to the bar and meet people anymore. Go somewhere else that's tapping and tuning into what you're doing now. Let's say real estate, you know what I mean? So where would they hang out? You know, go there instead. You know, that way you guys can have those yummy conversations about, you know, the common interests and things of that nature. So really utilize this energy, take responsibility, set boundaries, especially when you're dealing with other people. That way you can cultivate people that will actually support your endeavors, people that actually have grand ideas. Because when you hang out with 7 millionaires, you can be the 8th one. If you hang out with 6 broke people, you're gonna be the 7th broke person. So, I mean, it should hit different for you, okay? Make sure everything is meaningful to you. 12th house, so Saturn likes to be here while it's in Pisces. So, like I said, this can, you can have a spiritual awakening. You can really emotionally, like, go deep within self. This could really inspire you to really address the subconscious mind, you know what I'm saying? And see, you know, where is your mind at? How are you thinking? Like, is your mental health straight? Like, are you good over there? You know, so your spiritual growth, taking responsibility for where you're at now as far as doing mental check-ins. Are you setting those healthy boundaries and things of that nature? Because if you are afraid to be alone, okay, if you're scared to be alone, if you don't like being alone, that means you need to do a little bit of work. You need to sit in the corner and do some shadow work. You need to sit in the corner. Okay, so this negative side though, like you can really go too deep in, like whether, let's say for example, if you find out some information about the world and what's going on, you dive a little bit deeper, you can have information overload as far as like, finding out the truth being revealed, you know, seeing true, like what's really true as far as what's playing out in front of you. And that can kind of scare you a little bit to not act on your dreams, goals, and aspirations, you know. It's healthy to have alone time and to learn how to be alone, but you don't want to isolate yourself to where you know, go to vices, depression, all the things, okay? So avoid being overwhelmed when you're learning stuff. I would say take things in strides, okay? So use this energy to really maybe deepen your spiritual practices and things of that nature. So yeah, so let's go ahead and tap in, guys. We're gonna do a collective spread. Let's do a collective spread. Hey T, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. How are you? Hi, Happiness. How are you today? You guys are going to tap in. So we're going to do our tarot astrology. You guys, I love this deck. I'm obsessed with it. This is, yes, you're right on time. This is Spirit Cosmo deck. I love her. I don't know. I'm so obsessed with this deck right now, you guys. You have no idea. I also will pull some energy cards as well, you guys. Okay? Look at that. Archangel Uriel at the bottom. That's been coming out all week. And then we're going to pull some Lenormand as well. Let's see what messages we get. I may bust out the wheel depending on how much time we have. Okay. So let's get into it. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm better than amazing. I can't complain, to be honest with you. So let's see what we got cooking here. All right, what does the collective need to see? What is a message for the collective? Ooh, look at that. Of course, as I'm talking about Saturn, the World card came out, which is the Saturn energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and tap in, guys, and see what comes out. You guys know I read reversals first, just so that you're aware. And don't forget, I'm going to timestamp all this after the live video that you guys can refer back to it. Okay? Ooh. 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 Ah. You guys. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm seeing here is, as I was saying earlier, I feel here a lot of us are going through, we have the Hierophant in reverse here, right? This is Taurus energy. And this is a card of change. And I feel like a lot of us are being forced to change, whether this is going internal or our external factors, as far as, you know, maybe jobs, relationships, friendships, you know what I mean? Lovers, moving, whatever it is, diets, anything of that nature. So we have to make sure that we are open to changing, okay? We have to be aware of this. Some people don't want to accept the messages. They don't want to take action. Page of Wands in reverse here, okay? So it's a fire element. Some people may not want to take action and make those changes that we're supposed to. Nice to meet you as well. So we have to kind of be careful of that, you guys, okay? Making sure, I'm gonna pull up the charts here too, just to make sure that we have, that way we can kind of correlate. So some people don't want to receive the message, okay? And I get it. Tauruses are kind of the energy I don't really like to change. So I kind of sense the fact that some people don't want to change certain areas. Sometimes you don't want to, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, or you've been at this job for a really long time, or you could be scared to start your own business, or you could be scared to lose somebody due to, you know, this was bringing you security, they're helping you pay the bills or whatever it is, but you know, internally you're not happy or it's not working. So we have to recognize those signs when we see them, because you do also have the Three of Chalices here in reverse. You could be dealing with a Cancer. This is water energy. Okay, so with that Pluto energy going on in Capricorn right now, woo, we could all be looking at, especially when it pertains to, we could be very emotional about the fact that, damn, we may not have as much money as we need, or one job is just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is we're tapping into may not be happy there. So with also Pluto going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, we could be looking at our finances and our financial situations, you know. It could kind of put us down a little bit. Nobody likes to talk about their finances, especially when you're living with someone else. That could be like a sore subject, or even here goes social media and it's just being put in our face all the time. So, you know, I would say just make sure that you're open to learning new ways of doing things, no matter the age of somebody. I always say pay attention to the spiritual age of somebody, not their actual age, because even if you're 50, you could learn from somebody that's 22. Okay? Especially when it comes to maybe building a foundation and bringing on stability, because we're in a new age, we're in a new world, new things are happening, new things are popping. So we kind of got to get with the program. With that Pluto energy, it's like some people don't want to change or let go of those outdated belief systems, or remove those people from our lives that we love so dearly, and they've been here forever, but they could be holding you back. Okay? So here goes Saturn energy with the World. If you want to change your external world, you have to start from within, since it's retrograding in Pisces right now. So it's really, Spirit's like really like, hey, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself kind of an energy. You really got to go within, okay? Like, for example, if you want to receive loving connections or a love relationship or loving friends or people that support you or are into the things that you're into, well, you got to make sure you go within. Know what you want. Know your value. Know your worth. Set your boundaries. Utilize your discernment. And also put forth out the energy that you want to receive as well. Okay? Reciprocity is the name of the game here. It is the name of the key. It's key. Okay? A lot of us are looking for deeper connections. Like I said, 8 of Chalices here. Okay? You know, back in the day, it used to all be about the fancy cars and the trips and the yachts and, you know, whatever somebody was wearing, and the money and the going in the club and everything. But now it's something deeper than that. Okay, a lot of us are actually looking for a genuine connection, someone that actually wants to be with us, where we can be our total selves, and there is reciprocity, and we are into the same things, and we're diving deeper. So some people could be walking away. Okay. You know, and this is that Neptunian Pisces energy as well. The 8 of Chalices here. So it's kind of like you got to be careful. Some people out there could be, they may look the part, but once you get into the situationship, you're like, oh, damn, but they're lacking the emotional intelligence. They don't know they left from they right. Like, they totally sold me a pipe dream. I was living in la la land, and now I got to bring it back to reality. Okay. So some of us may be facing that, or some of us are just actually wanting to go deeper. It's not about the sex. It's not about the material goods. It's not about what money can buy me right now, or what you can buy me. It's about something deeper than that. Like, are we even here? Is this working up here? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we really come together? So in the midst of all that, we have a tough decision to make. Okay, 2 of Sword energy. This is Libra energy at that. This is air energy. With all these planets that were in Gemini, we still have the Sun and Mercury in Gemini right now. So it's causing us to really go within, especially with the Moon in Cancer. We could be very emotional about the thoughts and how people are relating to us right now in our lives. Remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, right? Which is the planet of relationships and love, and also the things that we value, whether it's people, places, or things. So we could be looking at these things, and it could be a tough decision. Damn, I gotta stop, I gotta let this person go. You know what I mean? Whether it's a friend, a business partnership, family member, whatever it is. It's like a tough decision that has to be made. And some people don't want to deal with that. Some people don't want to have those conversations. It might be a thought in your mind. This is like you in your head. You know what I'm saying? And you have to kind of do what's best for you at the end of the day. And you have to help yourself before you can help anybody else. You know what I'm saying? You got to really look at yourself, okay? What do you really value? You know what I'm saying? What's more valuable to you? Okay? You have to really pay attention to that. So this Mercury energy, you know, don't allow people to... I should say it's like the wordsmiths, the master manipulators. People can talk a really good game, you know what I'm saying, with this magician energy, especially with Mercury in Gemini and the Sun in Gemini. We also had the Moon in Gemini at one point. We did just have the new Moon in Gemini. We're also feeling low-key a little bit of that energy. So we have to make sure, is there reciprocity? Can we really come together? Use your magi to really say what it is that you want to say. Speak what's on your mind, but of course be gentle, be understanding, overstanding, you know what I'm saying? Like your delivery matters, your tonality matters, but you've got to know what you want, because a confused mind does nothing, okay? So go within. I don't care if you got to write it down. You got to really sit in solitude for a minute. You got to meditate on it. Whatever it is that you're going to do, all your little rituals, you got to do it. You got to speak, okay? You know, my dad always told me a closed mouth does not get fed. So you got to say what you want, honey, baby, okay? It's very evident, okay? It's you know, we all are looking for, you know, Queen of Chalices, someone that we can be emotionally vulnerable with, right? So if you are a person that has emotional intelligence, you could be a person that's maybe, like, let's say, for example, if you have Venus, like, in an air sign or something like that, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, it's like you could be, a person can have all those qualities that you're looking for. You feel so good at first, right? Ooh-wee. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's like they could be missing really that water energy, that Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio energy that could be in your 7th house, that emotional factor of it all, because you need both, right? The intellect and the emotions, right? So, and this is like I said, and the reason why I say that, because it's Gemini here, you know, Gemini got two sides. So it's kind of like, what side you want to play with? You know, what side makes you feel comfortable? And you know, are you nurturing your connections just as you want to be nurtured as well? Okay. Very true. I crave great reciprocal relationships. Exactly. See, that's the name of the game. You know, we don't want to put, we planted some seeds, we're watching them water and grow, but it's not moving fast enough. So we're all kind of like in this energy of like, dang, it's not going where we want it to go as far as people, places, and things. This could even be something that we're working on as far as bringing home the bacon and material possessions that are coming in. Just because you planted a seed and you watered it doesn't mean Rome was built in a day. We still gotta wait. Remember, the last thing to grow on the tree is the fruit. So some of us could be a little bit discouraged, especially when we are dealing with other people. It's like, dang, I would love to have a divine masculine or divine feminine with me right now that could actually help build with me. That'd be great. But it's like, let's be realistic. We can't really wait for anybody. We just have to like keep going and keep trucking. What's up, Jax? And we got to keep going. And this is Saturn energy. We got to stay disciplined. We got to stay focused. If we want our life to change, we have to just take action, because Saturn likes to, okay, but what you doing over here though? You know, that's how Saturn is kind of checking us right now, especially with Pisces. It's having us go within while it's retrograding. So you also have to pay attention to that, you know. And if we are receiving, you know, this is, like I said, Cancer energy. If we are receiving those nurturing connections, and while the moon is in Cancer right now, it's kind of showing us, like, I posted like yesterday on my, I think, Instagram or Twitter or something like that. I was like, love on those who love on you. Okay, this is now the time. We never know what's going to happen in the next hour or tomorrow. So it's like, I always say, shoot your shot. Or else you're going to be sitting there wondering, I wish I could have. I wish I did that. What if I did do that? And you didn't do it. And then an opportunity can pass you by. Remember, when the moon is at home, any planet that's always at home in its sign, it can get a little lazy. You can't get washed up when a planet is at home right now. You know, like Mercury's at home in Gemini. You know, moon is at Cancer's at home, and the moon is at home in Cancer. So a little lazy energy playing out here. You know what I'm saying? Think of it as like, you know, when you get home, it's like, oh, the comfort of your home. You get to walk around naked and do whatever you want. You can fart, burp, and digging your nose, whatever, and nobody can see you. You got to remember, like, certain things may fall to the wayside. So you have to really make sure you're paying attention to the things that you're saying. You're paying attention to things that the conversation you're having with other people as well when you're conversing with them. Is it of substance, or you don't want to dig yourself a bigger hole, or you don't want to create some jacked up circumstances come later on. So you got to really express how you feel, okay? You don't want to be sitting there forever using this Neptune and Pisces energy. You want something really deep, and oh my God, and you could look at the surface level of everything. Okay, this looks good. Two of Swords. Should I talk to them, or should I take this opportunity, or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you are be it. Like, be that. Whatever you want to receive, be that. That's the easiest way I can tell you how to do it. Be that. Do that. You know what I'm saying? And then boom. Here comes Ten of Pentacles. Okay? This is you looking at all the fine details of everything. This is Venus energy as well, where you can, live the luxurious life. It's like you've planted the seeds, you watered the grass, you've even dropped some more seeds for other people to water too. It's up to them if they want to water it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this is someone that's stable, solid, you know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself, cutting out those old cycles, people, places, things, values, morals, beliefs, and bringing in new things, right? And taking action on that with the Six of Wands here. We do have Mars in Leo and Venus is in Leo. Taking action on our relationships, because, all this air energy that's been playing out, we have to be talking to somebody, okay? Whether this is at work, whether this is at home, our kids, our lovers, dating, whatever it is, business partnerships, taking action on it, okay? Really expanding, okay? Going forward. What are you passionate about? Who are you passionate about? Okay? That's that energy right there. Let's pull up some oracles, you guys. Oh, I'm getting a little hungry. Let's pull up some energy oracles. Yes, Saturn is now in my first house. Ooh, so this is all about you, baby girl. It's all about you, okay? In your first house. I don't know if you were here, kids, when I was talking about first house. You're going to be doing a lot of self-discovery, self-reflection in the first house. For real. It's like personally growing. Let's get some energy. So don't get insecure. Don't, talk yourself out of a good thing. You can do that, whether it's an opportunity or a person. Whether it's a person, place, or a thing, you can really talk yourself out of it, so you gotta be careful. You can kind of doubt yourself when it's in the first house. And you can kind of forget it. You can put too much on your plate as well and not get anything done. So you gotta be aware of that too. Okay, let's get some energy, guys. Yeah, just this is a house to really build your confidence and set some boundaries for yourself. Okay, so let's pull up some energy, guys. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. Because we don't want to be, look, envy. I'm sorry, before I even flipped anything else over. People could be looking at either you, or you could be looking at other people, jealous or envious. I blame it on social media, I swear to you, because back in my day, we didn't have cell phones and, all these social media apps and things of that nature. Like, we were able to go outside, get dirty, play in the dirt, actually talk to one another face to face and really, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, like, nowadays it's kind of like you could be so dark within in yourself. That's why depression and suicide rates are at all-time high, because people want to look like a certain image, especially with these blue checkers, musicians, and all these narratives that they want us to soak up and be involved in, and it's all negative. So we could be all dark within and looking outside of ourselves as if that's where the gold is, that's where the success is, that's what it looks like. I want. So we have to be really careful with that. And that's why I always said, use this Saturn retrograde to go within. A lot of this energy, make sure you go within, Know what contracts you're signing. Don't be blind to it, whether these are soul contracts or contracts physically that you're signing as well. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you can have some soul contracts as far as soul ties, you know, the people that you have sex with, you know, the friends that you're meeting, the connections, all the things. Like, don't turn a blind eye. This is not the time for that, okay? And also, to make sure you are doing your self-care routines, make sure you are open to change, but you're also not putting too much on your plate or not putting too much pressure on yourself, and then you end up setting yourself up for letdown. You know, we got to be aware of that as well. There can be so many things that we want to do, so many places we want to go, so many people we want to see, whatever it is, but just be realistic. Have a practical approach with everything while we have Jupiter and North Node and Uranus and Taurus right now. Have a practical approach. We do have a man holding a heart here, okay? So some of us could be, you know, reserving ourselves, maybe for the right divine feminine, divine masculine to come in. Nothing wrong with that. You know, you may be starting to see a lot of people are on bullshit right now. So you're like, you know what, I don't want to set myself up and create and take on whatever it is that they got going on, and I'm gonna just wait. Like, I'm gonna work on me, I'm gonna do me, you know what I'm saying? So you could be reserving your time and energy and heart for a specific person, if that was to come. But I feel like adding 4 + 5 equaling 9, some people may ending certain relationships that they have, because they might be realizing, this might not be it, okay? And the reason why I said time and energy as well, because you are the bag. So, and you can't get your time back, okay? Or your energy back. So it's kind of like some people might be, and of course, you know, physically, like actually spending things. Woman holding a coin can be very frugal. You could be thinking, there's a lot of 6s on the board here too. A lot in our head. But we got to make sure we're taking action on these things though too, and being sure about it, okay? Knowing why we're celibate, why we're doing it, knowing why we might not want to, you know, go deep with certain connections right now. Maybe because your priorities are focused on building right now. You know, everybody's different right now. Some people are actually, they already built a business and they're successful, and now they're ready to have another energy to come in and, you know what I'm saying, and have a family and have kids or whatever. Some people are ready and some people are. It just depends on where you're at in life, okay? So we have Archangel Uriel here to help us with that change, to, you know, gain that creative spark, to see the light and dark of every situation, okay? Utilizing that crown chakra energy. If you know better, you do better, right? Accepting the change and actually using all of this energy as your bitch. Like making it work for you, right? Because once you go within and you see through everything, it's kind of like, you know, you make some smarter choices in life. So making sure that, you know, we're using our energy down here to create new experiences and just to create, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? And maybe educate and help, you know, wake somebody else up. We also have Archangel Metatron here, you know, to open that. That's why I said that, because open up our first eye, you know what I'm saying? There's no veil anymore. It's gone. Like, the truth is in our face, okay? We have lots of 4s on the board here too. 4, 4, 4, 4 angels. And everything can be around us, but this can also be focusing on the home front, building our foundation, bringing home stability and security for ourselves and our family and things of that nature could be really important right now. So that could be, instead of, you know, getting distracted or paying attention to the distractions that they're putting in our face, making sure we're taking care of what really matters is the most important, okay? I'm gonna pull, you know what? I'll just pull like a couple of Lenormands, and then I'm gonna get off because I'm gonna need a break. Let's see what the Lenormand has for us, and then we'll just end it there, guys. Ooh. What do we need to see as a collective? What do we need to see? Oh, as soon as I say that, freedom. Look at that. Woo. Freedom. We need to operate on the frequency of love. We need to make sure we stay committed. Some people may receive a commitment. This could be from another person, place, or thing, but you know, I only talk about you, I only know about you because I'm talking to you. So the ring, it can represent you committing to yourself finally. Aces bring new beginnings, committing to this new beginning, whether this is about your health, your financial stability, opportunities, new connections, new people. This could be like you looking like you're going to be committing to that. I feel like this is going to be a mutual energy at that too, or you could be this could be a desire for you, you know what I'm saying? This is what you want. Commitment with even, okay, this is a long-term friend, they're going to be loyal, trustworthy, you know, all the things that money can't buy, whether this is for a love relationship, a business partnership, whatever it is. It's like that craving for that, to have that. There's going to be challenges along the way though, of course, with this mountain here, okay? But I always say there has to be hurdles and challenges, and not everything's going to be peaches and, you know, rainbows, stars, moons, and quasars, and sage and crystals. You know, there are going to be some challenges. We may look like a deer in headlights. We don't know what to do right then and there, okay? We have to be solution-based so that we can celebrate life and bring on the infinite possibilities, okay? Move with love here, okay? Move with love. We got to end all that other bullshit. End those old cycles, patterns, behaviors, outdated belief systems with the number 10 to start a new beginning here, okay? Do you want to be free or not? You want to be able to celebrate? So owl, it's bringing in many changes for us, okay? I remember seeing an owl in the daytime. That is rare. You never see an owl in the daytime. So this is a major change that's coming in for you, whether this is a new connection, whether this is a new job, a new business, a new endeavor, a new you, new version of you. So embrace that. I love all of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and head out. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped, and turned on. Thank you for being here. I'm here for Fortnite. I'm here for it. Thanks for tuning in, kids. I appreciate it. It was nice seeing you. And I'll definitely make sure you guys smash subscribe and click the bell. I'll be over at vixenafterdark.com for the readings and things of that nature. I'm also updating the website and finishing that up as well, because I'm getting more requests about other types of different things going on. So I'm putting those on there for you guys. So stay on the lookout, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.